Okay. I got my sound on that. Helps a lot. Whoever pops in first, please let me know if you can hear me on the YouTube side. My cameras weren't working. I was gonna panic. I still gotta get my iPad going over here. Got some coming into Zoom, hopefully. Bear with me. Okay, this is where I want to go. Perfect. Okay, who's joining me on Zoom today? I didn't have time to adjust my cameras to hide my mess on my floor. I made 3 bags today, so bear with me. So just give it a few for those that want to join us in Zoom. I think we have Dawn and Kim. Maybe Cynthia's joining us in Zoom today. Would you believe I thought I did my homework? I must have dreamt that I did my homework. I thought all I had to do was like one little thing, but I hadn't done it. Trying to set it up, okay. Well, we'll give it about 5 minutes till about 3:15. I'm just glad the cameras got working because they weren't. I was panicking. But I learned something great with Zoom doing all this. I can change cameras so I can do live shows with people. So I can actually change my camera, and I may try it on here. Hi, Donalda. Can you hear me on Zoom here?
I can hear you.
You can hear me? Perfect. So we got Donalda there. Donalda, are you sewing with us today?
I'm not sewing, but I am sewing pillows.
That counts.
My dragon boat practice was cancelled again, so.
Oh no, bad weather?
Snowing actually.
Snowing? Wow, this is why I don't live in Alberta.
Well, no, it's not snowing in Medicine Hat, but at 45 minutes away, it's snowing in Elkwater. It's the same elevation as Banff.
Oh my goodness, so up in the mountains.
Yeah.
All right. Dawn can't get on. I wonder why. Dawn, Donalda's here. Try clicking it again and seeing what happens. Hopefully you can get on. Let me see. Give everybody a few technical difficulties, always growing pains as we learn how to do this. How are you making out, Kim? Are you managing to get set up? Be awesome to have a few people in here today. Dawn, I'm going to send you the link through Messenger, and then maybe that'll help. If I can find you in Messenger. Where are you? Where are you? Oh my gosh, I thought that 2 of my 3 cameras had crapped out because one crapped out on Tuesday, but now they're all working, so this is good. Okay, Dawn, I sent it to you in Messenger there. It's being persnickety. No sewing for you today, Cynthia? Are you having a sore foot day? We're finishing this up today. Again, I just was in a mad rush to get homework done. And then a mad panic because I couldn't get anything to work. So, wonderful. Hopefully Dawn can get in here. Show us your fabric, Donalda, while we're waiting for others to join in. As I'm playing bossy. Can't hear you. Ooh, that's pretty. I like it. All right. Can I send the meeting to you? I think I just sent it. I sent it in our admin chat Dawn? Put it in here again. Anybody else having problems getting on? Denelda didn't have problems, so. Come on, Dawn, you can do it, Cynthia says. Oh, computers. So I had to close up my window here because we don't have that maple tree there anymore. It is so bright. Oh, thank you guys for the hearts. Okay, so while we're here, I'm actually just going to make sure my camera views are good before we get started, while we're waiting for Dawn. Okay, so let's see. There's my Tom machine. I call it Tom, my Tom camera. That looks good. There's my class table. That looks good. Okay. Just making sure I have sound everywhere. It's making Kim update. Oh dear. Well, you guys can pop in whenever you can get in, but we are going to get started. I'm just making sure I have all the right sound. How is the sound? Is anything distorted? Is the volume good? Was mine and Donalda's voice of equal volume? Did it sound good on the YouTube side? You shouldn't need a passcode, Dawn. Okay, the meeting passcode, are you ready? 277673, if you need that. Again, the passcode is 277673. Oops. Whoops. Ah, I lost my screen. Now how do I get it back? Back to the meeting. Oh my gosh. Let's type that again. 277673, I think it was. There's Dawn. Yay! Dawn, I think you were just having a sympathetic technical difficulties with me, possibly.
I think so.
I was sweating because I thought I had no cameras, so yay. How are you making out there, Kim? Has it almost updated? And then we will get started. We're here until the bag is done. I will not lie though, I did not do my handles and straps, so I will not be connecting those today. They're still there. We're gonna get the rest of it done.
Did you say that you were sweating when you got on camera, Brandy?
Oh, before I got on camera, because I didn't think I was gonna have any cameras for the class.
Told you, girl.
Yeah.
I told them. I said, Brandy is gonna be sweating.
I saw that. I have the chat all opened up here. I'm like, I can read everything you're saying, Miss Dawn. Well, this is great. I'm glad that we have Donalda and Dawn in the Zoom. I was wondering if maybe the Zoom wasn't for everybody, and so we're going to give it June and August, and hopefully more people will join in on the Zoom, and if not, then we may scrap the Zoom. But I really hope everybody joins in. But having the problem with the cameras, I learned how I can go side by side sew with Barb now. I can do it all through Zoom.
Oh, good.
I found out I can
Awesome.
change to 3 cameras through Zoom. So when Barb and I are side by side to get, because she just does it all at her machine, but I like to do it at the table and at the machine, and
Yes.
like I don't do it all at the machine because I don't have a wide enough view for that. I think you can see more when I do it at the table. So I can switch between the table and the machine back and forth. You may not be able to see my face the whole time, but this is good news. So I'm going to have to get a hold of her on Sunday and get that all planned out. For a meeting ID, did you click on that link, Kim, that I sent? And if it's asking,
I can give her the meeting. I can give her the meeting ID. She probably has to do it manually too, like I did.
if you could do that, Dawn, that'd be
It's
great,
not-
because I don't know how to use Zoom. I only know the little bit that you trained me on. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
997 900 868 77.
Can you say that again and I'll type it in the chat? 997?
Sure. 997
Mm-hmm.
900
900.
997 868 77.
Sorry.
Can you say that again? I'll type it in the chat. 997.
Oh my gosh, I'm just going to mute you, Cynthia. There we go. I'm muting Cynthia. Okay, there you go. Say that again, Dawn. So we got 997 900 868.
Yeah. And 77 at the end.
And 77. Okay, there we go. All right. There you go. Yay, so we got Cynthia.
And then the passcode is just above.
Yeah, and then the passcode is 227673. There we go. Yay, look at all of us in Zoom.
No,
Everybody say
277.
Oops, 277673.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, typos galore. There we go.
And then you've got a box in the middle of the screen on YouTube.
Oh, look at that. Participants. That's because
Yeah.
I found out I can mute people's mics. I muted Cynthia there because as she popped in. There we go. Okay. Yay. So we got Danelda. Danelda wants to wave. Say hi. And we have Dawn. And we have Cynthia. Yay. Okay, we'll get Kim in here hopefully. And then we'll get started because we're here until the very end. We actually don't have that much to do. We're going to be doing the lining and the exterior simultaneously because they go together pretty much the same, just a slightly different seam allowance. So when we do the exterior, we're going to do the same step in the lining and it'll be nice and fast, I hope. So, okay. Iced coffee. As you can tell, I'm vibrating. Okay. Now, those in YouTube land, do you know what? I didn't mark down who was here. I'll do it later. Those in YouTube land, if at any time you can't hear me, put it in the chat and then somebody can yell at me, especially when I'm at the machine. I think I've turned all my microphones on properly. Hey, Wanda. Wanda, are you going to join us on Zoom today? And are you sewing along with us? Lots of people today. That makes me happy. Okay, so I guess we should get started. So we are not here until midnight, right? Okay, so we are looking at, for homework, we should have had our purse feet put on if you did that. I just did that like 10 minutes ago, just before I got on. All of our rivets, our side panels, our front panels, all done, as well as our lining panels. So our zipper pocket, which we should have all closed up, our zipper panel and our tops on. Hopefully we all have that. Hopefully Kim can get on here. So the very first thing we're going to do before we forget is, because this isn't in the instructions, because we are doing a drop-in lining. So last class we went and put those 1-inch lines on the back of our two lining panels. We want to do the exact same thing for our, not our bottom piece, but our other exterior panels. So we're going to go and do that right off the hop so we don't forget later on. So just 1 inch down and draw a line along the tops. Nice to see you, Wanda. 1 inch, and then the tops of the sides as well. And you can do this later, but it's just so much easier to do it before we have everything attached. Make sure it's a line that will not disappear because you do want to be able to see it. I'm using an actual pen on the back of my vinyl here because it will not erase. Okay, now the construction of this exterior is something new and exciting. No Zoom today. I am Oh my gosh, Wanda, you just had your second hip replacement surgery on your 56th birthday. Happy belated birthday. You're 7 years older than me. Gen X? Are you still Gen X? Are you a Gen Xer like me? I'm a Gen Xer, and I'm proud of it. Hi, Kim. I didn't even see you pop in there. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Are you sewing with us?
I'm gonna be sewing, but probably not the Mr. Heckles.
Oh, that's completely fine. What are you sewing?
I'm finishing the little roadie or the roadie tote. So
Nice. That's all right. Denelda is sewing. Oh, Dawn says hi. Denelda's sewing pillowcases. So this is great. All right. So if everybody, sorry, go ahead.
We don't need the 1 inch. We don't need the 1 inch lines on the gussets.
Yeah, you do on the side panels.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
All of the exterior panels. Okay, so if everybody in Zoomland can mute your mics if you're not muted. I think you're all muted now, which is great. And then unmute if you have a question or say I ask you something or whatever. And it'll just keep the feedback minimal for those in YouTube land because that could be distracting. So, all right. Well, Wanda, if you decided you wanted to be in Zoom, again, to be in Zoom, you don't have to necessarily be doing the Mr. Heckles. You can be just joining us and we can just be having a fun little sew along together. I think Dawn is sewing this with me, and I think Cynthia wants to sew it, but she's still recovering from her surgery. So, yeah. Hi, Stephanie. Can you get, oh, we're waiting for Stephanie there. Are you having a hard time getting in, Stephanie? If so, maybe Dawn can help you get in because I don't know how she was helping people get in. So we have Stephanie that's trying to get in there as well. Okay, so we're going to keep on going here. So, okay. So we're going to take our main front panel. Where are you? And we're going to take our 2 side panels. And we're going to kind of do these at the same time. So what we want to do is we want to put them right sides together. And we're going to clip it in place. As I said, we're going to kind of prep our exterior and our lining, so when we go to the machine we can do them both at the same time. So I've got one side on. I'm going to do the same with the opposite side of my exterior, right sides together, just so they're in place to help speed up the sewing at the machine. Maybe I did something different with Zoom today. Maybe that's why I was having problems with my cameras too. I don't know. I'll try to, hopefully it doesn't happen again. So I apologize for all of the technical difficulties. When you do get in, Stephanie, make sure you say hi on the Zoom because I'm probably going to have my back to you. Okay, so that is the exterior part. So we're going to set that aside. Actually, no, we don't have to do that yet. What we're going to do is, so we are on page 6, step 11. And we are going to sew down each of these sides with the seam allowance that is mentioned in step 11. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, I think my mic is on. It is. Perfect. Hopefully I have enough bobbin. How is my sound over here?
Good.
It's good, thank you. Make sure to backstitch well at the start and stop. I must say, I'm really happy we have so many in Zoom today. I was thinking maybe nobody was liking it, but I'm so happy everybody's here. Makes me happy because I want to be able to sew along with everybody and see your faces and hear your voices. And the opposite side. while you're at the machine, just kind of fold up that seam and see if your stitches are looking stressed out. Mine are a little bit, so I'm just going to go, I'm going to leave about 1 inch at the top without doing the double stitching. If you're doing the double stitching like me, you want to make sure you have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches not double stitched at the top. So I'm going to actually come down about 1.5 inches, and I'm just going to do another row of stitching and just beside that line of stitching we just did, just to strengthen that seam. But we don't want to do it in that first 1.5 inches if you're doing this, and I will show you why here momentarily. You may not have to do the second line of stitching. It just all depends on your vinyl and your thread. Again, on the other side, I'm starting from the bottom, but I'm only going to do that second row of stitching to about, and stopping it at about 1.5 inches before the top. Alrighty, so this is what I mean. Can you guys see? The zoom side looks funny because they see my face, but I'm showing the camera up here. You can see I stopped that second line of stitching right there, and for the zoom people, I just stopped right there. You don't want to do that second line of stitching if you have to do it in this top section, and you will see why here momentarily. Now, because we are doing a drop-in lining, we want to make it so we have the least amount of bulk in these top sections. So you're going to take your scissors, and about 1 inch or so down, you're going to just snip into it just before the stitches. And I'll show the zoom people here, just before. You don't want to cut the stitches you just did. You just want to go about 1 inch down and cut into that seam allowance like that. That way you can open them up like so. Just like so. And then we're just going to baste those open. And we're going to do that on the opposite side as well. So snip, open up that seam allowance. And then we're just going to baste those two seams open. And so yeah, you want it to be below that 1 inch line actually, because we're going to be folding it down. So that should be just fine. Okay, so let's go and do that. And again, that's not in the pattern. That is just preparing for a drop-in lining, because we are modifying it. Yet, Stephanie? Okay, so now we are going to want to top stitch this. So that's why we opened up these seams first, because now we want the rest of the seam to lay towards the main front of the bag. So both of these seams are going to be going inwards like so, except for this top we have butterflied out. And now we're going to take this and we are going to top stitch it right down here, right here, and right here on both sides. And if I get moving too fast, please do stop me. Hopefully Stephanie can get in.
I'm here. It's successful.
Pardon me?
I was finally successful. I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Hello.
Brandy,
Yo.
you cut your seam. Sorry, it's Kim.
That's okay.
That's like right where I am. I think. Well, mine is connected. Where, like, mine's in cotton on that part. So should
Yeah.
I still
Cut in like this.
Okay. All right.
It's just to open the seams up at the very, very top. I guess I could put this to my face when I'm showing that. Mainly because we will be folding that down like this to do drop-in lining. We just want to reduce that bulk, but you don't want to do it all the way down, just to about an inch or so.
Okay. Because mine's actually together, but I think I could still separate it and sew it down.
How thick is it? Will your machine be able, if you were to fold it over and you have the two things, is your machine going to be able to get over that thickness?
Yeah, because I used cotton.
Then I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, you should be
Okay.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay,
This is because
perfect.
I'm using vinyl for both the lining part and this, so that's just to reduce that bulk. But you know your machine, I mean, you're on an 1181, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should be fine. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry.
No worries. That's what this is for. Yay! You're like our first question on Zoom. Yay. Okay, so let's go do that top stitch. And how are you, Stephanie?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I
We're
ahead a little bit before I got on, and I'm glad because I didn't know it would take me that long.
Oh, good. Good, good, good. So that's what's nice about having the tutorial too, because it's somewhat the same. So if you watched it, you kind of have a heads up what we're going to be doing. So yeah, it's one side. All right. Yay! I love seeing all the Zoom windows. That makes me so happy. All right. Is everybody there? And there for the Zoom people. Yeah? Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to take our back panel. We're going to end up working in a tube here eventually. So just take the long side. We're just going to do one side right now. We're going to repeat everything we just did with those other two. So put them wrong sides or right sides together, clip them together. And then for this one, I'm going, when it comes to clipping into that seam, I'm just going to do it all at the machine there, because you guys kind of know what I'm doing there. So I'm going to sew this, and then I'm going to do my snip, and then I'm going to do my baste and my top stitch all in one go at the machine for this side. Just rinse and repeat like we did the other two. Coco says hi. Hopefully she's not getting everybody else's dogs all riled up. Get in there. There we go. you're not working today. You're always just leaving work at this time. Yay, I'm glad you're here. Snip.
I've tried really hard to get done early. So.
Excellent. Open up that seam. Top stitch it. Okay, and then make sure before top stitching that your seam is going towards the main panel. Very important. This pattern is very important that you have the seams going the direction she says, except for the part that I just told you to open up, but that's important for the modification we're doing. Because if the seam's going towards the sides, it's going to make it really hard on you when we go to put that bottom on, especially for thickness. So now we should have a big long thing that looks something like this. And on the back, it looks like this. Okay. So everybody let me know when you have that, and then we will do the hardest part. Let everybody get it. The hardest part, because we're going to be top stitching in a loop, and that's always a good time. Meanwhile, I'm going to mark down who's all here. I love seeing you guys sew. This makes me so happy. Okay, so let me see. We've got Cynthia. And we have Dawn. Diane will probably be joining us as soon as she's off work. We have Kim. We have Wanda. Who did I miss? We have Stephanie. Am I missing anybody? I don't think so. Oh, Dexter says hi now. Can you guys hear the dogs bark, or is Zoom muffling that? Could you hear Dexter? Dave is home. He's working from home, so they're misbehaving anyways. All right. When everybody's done that, show us what it looks like so far. Dawn's done. I want to see yours, Dawn. It kind of gives you an idea how pretty it. Oh, Dawn's is pretty. All right. Are you good, Stephanie? What point are you at?
I've already done the inside top stitch.
Okay, so I'll just keep going.
Go ahead.
You can show your work when we catch up to you. How about that?
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Okay. So now, this is the hardest sort of part, because now we're going to make a tube. So you're going to bring the last two sides together. We're going to do the exact same thing with our stitching, opening up that top seam, and then we are going to sew it in the tube, the top stitch in the tube. It's the hardest part. Not that it's hard, but more that it is super awkward, but worth it. Erase you, Dawn. Just kidding. Dawn's faster than me anyways. Okay, so I'm going to do all of that at the machine. And when I'm at the machine, when it comes to the top stitching, I'll explain that a little bit more. This bag does come together so incredibly fast though. And I got a full thing of clips there. Okay. Now it is very important we have an accurate top stitch because, oh, of course, look at, I slipped. We are going to be, I slipped big time. Let me fix that. Please hold. Because we need the circumference to be the same on both the lining and the exterior so they fit together for our, holy, I can't talk and do things at the same time. So they fit together for our drop-in lining. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, Arnetta. Why don't you come join us on Zoom? Are you sewing this one, Arnetta? I can't remember. I don't have my list here with me. Glad you popped in anyways. So it's such a weird feeling sewing this in a tube, even this seam, because it kind of pulls a little bit. Just because you are in the tube. Dawn's done. She beat me. You top stitched it already, Dawn? If you top stitched it already, then you're going to teach from now on. How did you do that so fast? It's because I made a mistake and I had to pull some stitches out? Maybe. Dawn's on fire with her sewing right now and all of her tumbleweeds and everything. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to remember if it was easier to top stitch from the bottom up. Okay. So this is where it is a little bit awkward because, and I hope you guys can see this. You gotta make sure your seam is going the right way. And we're going to top stitch it in a tube. Kind of got to hold this out of the way. Oops, I can see all my stitches I pulled out there. And make sure that that seam is staying nice and open, like nice and tight. You do have a little less control with it, like so. Especially when you come to the top, I find. Because it wants to pull. Don't let it pull. Ask me how I know. From the tutorial, I had to take it all out. So it gets the hardest when you get to the opposite side, I find. And I'm almost there. And then of course make sure when you're dragging it back out that you don't get your needle snagged on your vinyl at all. Done. And we have success. Okay, so now we have this big tube. I'm just making sure everything looks good. All of my seams are going the right way, and they are. Okay, so now we need our bottom piece. If you haven't already, which I have not, you want to find your top, bottom, and side centers of this. Now this is where it's a little bit different because we are not going to sew the long sides first. We're sewing the short sides first. So we are on page 6, step 13. And when I first read this, I was like, what the heck are we doing? But, okay. Oh, for a minute there, I thought I sewed it on wrong. So we're working with these side sections here. We're going to put our side of our bottom with this shorter jut out side of our exterior. Dawn's already working ahead of me. I can see her. Clip across. And then we're going to sew across there with the seam allowance stated in step 13. Just the one side for now. I just realized I didn't change out of my pajamas again, you guys. At least it's a cute top. I tried to get dressed nicely for class and I've been forgetting. I've been failing the last couple times. Okay, so now we are on page 7, step 14. We want to press the bottom panel away from the side. But we want the seam allowance to be at the side like so. Just let me double check to make sure that's right. Yeah. So you don't want that seam allowance pointing to the bottom. That is where we always want to go automatically, but we're going to do it so our seam allowance is pointing up this way towards the side exterior like so. So we're going to go ahead and just top stitch that through there. And then we're going to repeat it with the other side, and we're going to do that at the machine. It's a little bit more awkward to top stitch it as we are doing it in the tube, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. Just make sure that that seam is going to the exterior side, not down towards the bottom. Does that make sense? I think so. So we're just top stitching through that bottom seam here, like so. Just where the bottom is. And the top stitch will hold that seam in place where we need it to stay. Like that. Okay, we're going to bring the other side over, and I'm going to do it all here. Match it up on the other side. And do the exact same thing. Okay, and then we're going to top stitch it again, and we want to make sure that seam is going towards the side panel, and we're kind of doing it in a loop again. This is an easier loop to deal with though, because it's very short. Just make sure it's staying nice and tight. There we go. Whew, my arms are tired, I tell ya. Remind me at the end of the class to show you the bag that I finished today, everyone. It's pretty. New designer, new Canadian designer. Pattern's already launched, so I'll share it after this. Sorry, you guys probably couldn't see too much about my arm there. That's why I liked having that other camera view as well, but it's too hard to have that with the zoom and everything going as well. So this is kind of what we got here. Dawn's beating me. Man, oh man. Okay, so we are now on page 7, step 15, and this is where it's going to seem really weird. Okay, so this is why it was important to have our seams going the right way. So we're going to match up the long side center like so. You're going to see how those seams are going to work with you. So it was important to have the seams going where they needed to go. Very, very important. You're going to keep pinching it all the way across. Like, see where that seam is there? You're going to keep pinching it that way. And this is going to create that really unique bottom, almost like a box bottom without being a box bottom. So it's going to look like this. So it's going to look like you kind of have a little, I don't know how to explain what that is. Again, it's kind of just pinches and across. And then you're going to sew that with the seam allowance in step 15. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with the opposite side at the machine. And it looks like it would be super hard, but it is super easy. Now I am going to go in with a second line of stitching on these just because we'll do the other side. All the way across. such a magical bottom. Magic. Jenny is a genius. But you do see why you wouldn't want to use foam. Well, actually, are you using foam in yours, Dawn? I can't remember. And if so, how is the thickness in these areas for you? Was it this one you were going to...
Yes, I am. And it's a little... I've got a little bit of a divot here that I'm trying to fix. So I'm hoping I could get that out.
Okay, so for foam, would you recommend cutting it out of the seam allowances on the bottom as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good to know. I haven't made it in foam, so.
Yeah, I would.
Got thread in there. Okay, so I'm just looking inside to make sure everything looks good and caught. Do you know what? I didn't do my second row stitching. I'll go back. I didn't change my camera over either, so do my second row of stitching. So I've used the bouncy firm in this that I got from Cereal Bagmakers, and I'm loving it so far. It's very pliable. I used it on the bag that I made today, and it was a bound bag, and it didn't pull away or wrinkle or anything. This stuff is magical, and we need to get somebody in North America carrying it. But, I mean, I ordered a 30-meter roll of it from Cereal Bagmakers, and yeah, it's a lot of it, but when you add in the duty and everything, it's about between $16 and $17 Canadian a meter, but they're 30 inches wide, so it's not too bad. I like this stuff. Okay. Let me just read. I don't think she says, she doesn't say to trim our seam allowances or anything. Nope. Okay, so before I turn it out, I'm actually going to take my double-sided tape, and where that 1-inch line is all the way around, I'm going to go ahead and put my tape all along there. Now don't pull the paper backing off of it or anything. This is just for later. So just put it just above that 1-inch line we draw, or you can do it right along the top raw edge too if you prefer. This isn't in the pattern, and this is our modification. All the way around. Now, if your machine is sensitive to this tape, I wouldn't use the 1/2-inch tape. I'd use the 1/4-inch tape, and I put it along the top side, because then you will not sew through that tape. I'm using 1/2-inch just because it's what I have out, and my machine doesn't care, so. Okay. And then once you have that tape on, go ahead and turn this right side out. Yeah, that bouncy firm isn't pulling away or nothing. This stuff's magical. My other one, I used EBFuse Heavy on it, and it was just as good. This just gives a little bit more squish, because it's kind of like if Decovil Heavy or Decovil Light and foam had a baby, it would be bouncy firm. We really need a North America supplier. I don't want to be a supplier. But. Okay, and this is where you get to see those magical corners. Look at that. And look at that in YouTube or in Zoom land. They're magic. They're so pretty. How are you doing with that divot there, Dawn?
I got it on the one side, so I'm just working on the second side now.
Okay. Are you okay if we keep going, or do you want me to wait for you?
Oh, yeah. Nope, keep going.
Okay. So, what we'll do now is we have our exterior, and we're going to prep the exterior for top stitching or for the drop-in lining before we start the lining. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the paper off the backing, or paper off the tape, and we're going to start folding that raw edge into that 1-inch line that we drew on the inside of it. Nice and even. Just like so. And I'm also going to use clips just because I know double-sided tape doesn't always hold up. We want it to hold up until we're ready to work with it. So work it all the way around. It should actually fold over that stabilizer perfectly if you had it 1/2 inch outside of the seam allowances. It'll just fold right over that stabilizer. So you are sewing through that stabilizer when we go to top stitch this, just so you're aware. We're going all the way around like so. Donalda's trying to see what I'm doing here. All the way around. For those on Zoom, if you need me to do a face, like to show you like this, please do let me know, because all I'm thinking about is this camera up here for the YouTube side. Welcome back, Cynthia. Now you could also use glue to do this, but you would have to let that glue dry before sewing through it. Glue is awfully messy too. But sometimes domestic-wise, glue is the good choice because it does the thicken without the gumming up the needle once it's dry. So for next month's bag on Tuesday, actually both bags we're going to do as a drop-in lining because we're doing the Aviatrix by Pin It Up Patterns. I'm half of that. That's a drop-in lining, and we are going to modify the Pelican tote when we make it all fancy. We're going to do a drop-in lining for that as well. And the drop-in lining for the Pelican tote goes exactly like this. It's a recessed zipper. It's going to save your arms, and it's super easy. This is going to save my arms. My arms are tired from turning through that bound bag today, I tell you. Okay, so that's what that looks like all done. And we can set that aside for now. And then we can bring out our lining panels. And the lining's almost exactly the same, except for our exterior pieces already have taken into account side panels. That's why there's such a weird shape. So we are on page, skip forward, page 11, step 31. We're going to put our two sides together, right sides together, line up that where the lining and the upper top panel meet, so you get a nice continuous line, and then clip in place. Are you past this part, Stephanie? This is where you're at? Yes, okay, perfect. So we're going to clip both sides. Make sure your zipper tails are kind of in and out of the way. I'm just going to stuff them into my slip pocket to kind of keep them where they need to be. Whew, I got really warm all of a sudden. My goodness. Okay, let me just double check our seam allowances here. Okay, so you're going to have to, because I can't give you guys the seam allowance, you're going to see in step 31, we have a smaller seam allowance that we're going to start with, and then we're going to branch out into that larger seam allowance. Another thing we're going to do when we're at the machine is just like at the top, like we did with the exterior, we're going to snip into the side here so we can open up that top seam to make it a lot less thick for when we go to do our drop-in lining, okay? Does everybody see the seam allowances there? What we're starting at? Okay, so you're going to start there, and then about, I don't know, a third of the way down or so, you're going to branch out into that larger seam allowance to the bottom. And then at about 1.5 inches down, you're going to do a little bit of a snip into the seam, butterfly those seams open, and baste those in place, just like we did with the exterior, to keep it so those seams aren't super thick. Make sense? Okay. Okay. So starting with that smaller seam first, and we want to make sure that this top is very accurate for the seam allowance, otherwise it's not going to fit into our exterior later on. So, okay. Once you had about a third of the way down, so right about there, that's when you can branch out into that larger one. And what that's doing is that larger seam allowance is it's making it so the bag, oh wait, hold on, don't go all the way down yet. I think we got to branch into, oh, I caught it in time. So it's only in this middle section. When you get about 2/3 of the way down, you want to go back into a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So right here, I'm at the larger seam allowance, and I just gave you the seam allowance when I wasn't supposed to. And then about 2/3 of the way, you want to branch back down into the smaller seam allowance. Did I catch everybody in time? This is one of those weird ones where you don't do it big all the way down. So just in the middle part. So you start with the regular seam allowance till about a third of the way down, branch out to the larger one till about 2/3 of the way down, and then branch back down into the original seam allowance again. I'm going to do my snip. I'm going to open up that seam and baste that open. Everyone good?
Am I supposed to already have my zipper panels on?
Oh, sorry, you were breaking up there, Don. What was that?
Am I already supposed to have my zipper panels on?
Yeah, we did all of that last week.
Oh, darn it. I missed that. Okay, I'll do that now.
Okay, okay, yeah, definitely have those on first. Okay, so now I'm starting at the bottom because that's the easiest way for me to go up. So I'm starting at that smaller seam allowance from the bottom till about a third of the way up. Branch out to the larger seam allowance. And then when you have about a third left, branch back down into that smaller seam allowance. Did everybody have their zipper panels done? We did one side in class last week, and then everybody was supposed to do the other one for homework. We're very close to getting to the drop-in lining part. And then baste that seam open. Okay. Oh my goodness, Dexter. Let's bring this very full bowl of clips over. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. It's smaller at the top, branches bigger for the middle section, and then comes back in again. And then we can go ahead and we can just trim up where it's a little bit bigger. You can trim it all up just in the middle, like so. So don't trim up the bottom part, just trim up this middle section. Just like that. All right, so now I'm going to find all my centers on my bottom piece. Everyone good? Do I need to stop or are we good? We're good? Okay. I will let you guys stop me if I need to be stopped, okay? So please do stop me. Okay, so we are going to put the bottom on the same way we did the other, except so on the sides, we're going to use the same seam allowance, the regular seam allowance. Let me double check this. I gotta double check. Attach the bottom panel to the front lining back in the same manner that the contrast bottom was attached to exterior front, except using the larger seam allowance. Okay, so we are using the larger seam allowance that's in step 11, and we're going to put the bottom on the exact same way that we did the exterior. Now in the instructions it says to leave one side unsewn. You do not need to do that because we don't need to leave an opening in the bottom. So you're going to sew the whole bottom shut, both sides. Okay, so start with your sides. You can definitely go ahead and make sure your, I guess it doesn't really matter which way your seams are going. I'm going to push my seams. I don't remember which way to put the seams. I don't think it's really going to matter. It's the lining. So I'm going to push my seams to the left. Match up that side.
Brandy, we don't have to leave the zipper pocket open, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Because we're not going to be turning this at all.
Good. I gotta sew mine shut though.
You could always sew it shut later on if you wanted to, Kim, because you can just pull it up through the zipper pocket if you wanted to sew that at that point too. So now we're going rogue from the pattern because we are making it for a drop-in lining. Okay, so I'm going to go and I'm going to do all the rest of the bottom at the machine. If anybody has questions, please do either type it out or shout it out to me. You notice we didn't worry about the top stitching. I will top stitch these bottom ones though, just so I have that seam going up. So remember, you're using the larger seam allowance here. Oops, out there. All the way across. You know me with linings, I'm not as picky with them because nobody really sees them. But you do want that seam allowance for these bottom parts to be going up towards the main panel, just like on the exterior. So make sure it points up. Done. a little bit awkward just because it's so fleeky, so soft compared to what the exterior was. Come on, get in there. Okay, top stitch it up towards the lining. We're so close to being done. We're going to be done on time even though we started late. This is great. Do we still have Cynthia there hanging out in the chat? Cynthia and Wanda and Arnetta, are you all still there? Okay, and then I'm going to do these long sides in the exact same way we did the exterior, but with the larger seam allowance. Side done. I love it when you get to this point and you can feel the home stretch. Because now, at this point, I'm thinking about the next bag I want to work on. Oh, awesome, Arnetta. What are you knitting? I have so many knit projects on the go. I have a blanket, and I have socks, and I have a sweater that has one more sleeve to go. I've had one more sleeve to go on that sweater for about 6 months, so I really should finish it by next winter so I can actually wear it. All right. Okay, so this side, I'm just going to trim this seam allowance down just a smidgen, not a ton, just a little bit. Just in the middle. Okay. So that is the bottom all done. She looks good. She looks good. How's everybody doing there? We're doing okay? I think Dawn's still doing her zipper panel. Did you have your zippers already in the panels? It was just putting it together? Okay, that's good. Okay, so just like what we did with the lining, we want to fold these top edges down to that line. And then we're going to talk about flatbed versus cylinder arm and how you're going to want to position your panels depending which machine you have. Oops, I gotta, there you go. Okay, so once again, I'm going to go around that line. So we have a closed up bottom, we have closed up zipper pockets because we are not going to have to turn this. Okay, and then go ahead and turn all those raw edges down into that line, just like we did with the exterior. Now I'm keeping my lining inside out because I'm going to drop it in. How many are doing this on a flatbed? I think Dawn is. Danelda has the 1340. Okay. So the easiest way for you guys to top stitch this is probably going to be to have your lining right side out and your exterior wrong side out, and dropping your exterior into your lining, because then you can sew around the exterior from the inside of the bed on your flatbed. Does that make sense? I'll explain it here in a second once we get it going. So I'm going to be taking mine to my cylinder arm, so I'm going to have my bag the way it's going to be forever and ever and ever. But top stitching on a flatbed, you can top stitch. It's just easier to top stitch from the inside of the bag. So you can do it from the lining side and make sure your bobbin is good, or you can turn it all inside out so you're top stitching your exterior, which would be on the inside of the bag. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, Kim? Yeah? Okay. So if you have a free arm or cylinder arm, you can do it like me. Otherwise, flip your panels around opposite than what I have, and then you'll do it right. So this is my exterior and this is my lining, and I'm just going to be dropping it in. But if you're on a flatbed, you want to do it opposite. So this is wrong side out and your lining is right side out, because then you can top stitch it from the inside of the bag and you know your exterior top stitch is going to look good, and then you just turn it the rest of the way through. Completely up to you what you want to do. Honestly, on my flatbed, when I used to do it on there, I would just make sure my bobbin thread and tension were immaculate, and I would just do it like this, and I would just top stitch it from the lining side and just pray that it still looked good on the exterior side. So completely up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to situate this so my zipper pocket is going to the back of the bag, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop it in. So whether you're dropping your exterior into your lining or your lining into your exterior. Now you're going to be able to see from the folded down edges our centers of each. So kind of look where those are and match up that center. And then match up your folded down edges nice and even and perfect. So just like we do when we birth it, we just want to kind of put it together in quarter sections, and I'm just kind of clipping the exteriors together. So I've got a couple in that front section. I'm going to do my other section here, match up the center, and then make sure our folded over edges are nice and flush with each other. You'll probably have to put your zipper panel down. Okay, so once you got that, We're going to do the same with our center. So you're going to look for your center mark that's in this folded down part and then the center seam. And this is why we branch those seams open, see? So we have a lot less bulk there. Match up with that center and clip it together. And same with the opposite side. So we're getting those quarter sections in place, and then we can evenly distribute that fabric in between those quarter sections. Nice and centered and clip together. And then go around and evenly distribute the fabric, making sure everything fits in. You can see how it's fitting in perfectly in there, see? So you just got to add it into the clips and add more clips. Use a million clips, trust me. You do not want it to shift. Any questions so far? Or as Don will make fun of me, I always say clear as mud, but I know I'm using that wrong when I see clear as mud. Because mud's not clear. That means it's not making sense. So I'm going to get this all in place, and then I have to go and thread my cylinder arm. And this is exactly why I bought the cylinder arm, is for this. Now, I don't sew at my cylinder arm very often because I don't find it the most comfortable machine to sew at because it's so tall. And I really like my 1541, but when it comes to top stitching and this, I love it. I'm just very fortunate that I have both. Our knitted knits hats for the homeless. Aw, that's sweet. Whew, first I didn't think that was fitting, but it is. Thank goodness. If you had a seam allowance off anywhere, this will not fit. Now when I go to top stitch this, because we are catching such a thick seam along this top, I go in bigger than 1/8 of an inch. I actually go in almost closer to 1/4 of an inch. Somewhere in the middle, a scant, what is it? A generous 1/8 of an inch to a scant 1/4 of an inch. And that just means that you will catch everything in that thicker seam. That's what I do anyways. Whoops. That went flying.
The line is not fitting. I'm like 1 inch off. So I'm going to take my lining back out and I'm going to go in and just take a larger seam on that top part. Does that sound like reasonable?
Yeah. Did you do a 1/2 inch on the top?
Yeah, and then I went bigger and then I went back.
So you did the right seam allowance. Huh.
Okay.
So yeah, take it a little bit bigger.
Keep going.
All right. Maybe it got cut wrong somewhere. Maybe when it was on the fold, it adds a little extra. Maybe. That's all I can think of.
We'll fix it.
Easy to fix the lining, right? You just kind of go in and do a little bit more and a little bit more. It's better than having sewn the whole bag and being like, oh. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm talking about for on a flatbed machine. So say I was on a flatbed machine, I have where my exterior is, that would be the outside of my lining. And then my interior part would be the exterior of the bag. So I could go around and top stitch it around the inside of the bag. And honestly, on my flatbed, making sure that bobbin thread is good, I never turned it inside out. I would just go ahead and I would top stitch through there and hope for all the best. But if you're in a cylinder arm or a free arm, you can have it like I am, and we're just going to top stitch all the way around this side here. But now I have to go switch out my thread to my other machine. So I will put this back up so everybody can see everybody more. Oh, we lost Dawn. I bet you that her hubby's there talking to her. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch out my stuff. Need my bobbin. And I need my thread. And then I'll switch the machine around, or switch the camera around. So you're going to see my back for a moment. I apologize. Oops, don't go anywhere. If I was richer, I could buy 2 spools of all my threads, so I can always have one machine set up with it, but no. Okay, get in there. There we go. Come here. This light gets in the way of threading this. Here we go. Get in there. Turn this shadow on so I can see it. Dawn's back. Yay! Welcome back, Dawn.
I thought I saw Zoom trying to work me again. That's weird.
Weird. I don't know. I'm a Zoom newbie, so I don't know what's going on most of the time. Okay. Almost threaded, and then I can switch the camera over to this machine, and then we'll finish it off. How are we doing for time? We're doing magnificently for time. Biggest pressure is threading a needle when everybody's watching you. Even though you can't see what I'm doing, you just see my back, but get in there. Oh, I did it. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be playing with camera views for a moment. I apologize.
Brandy, I have a quick question.
You betcha.
When you fold the lining over, how does that work when you have the zipper panel?
You're going to push your zipper panel down like so.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just going to be very aware of where that zipper panel is and make sure you're not sewing through it, but you can push it down. So yeah, I kind of go around and I hold it down in place.
Okay, because mine is that right the way I have it? Hold on, I can't tell if you can see. Can you see?
Do you have your top panel on there?
What do you mean?
So this is my top panel here. So you have your lining, your zipper panel, and then your top panel on top.
Nope, that would be why.
That would be why.
It looks so weird.
Oh no.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you didn't sew it together. So yeah, you're missing, there's a top panel piece. We did that at the end of class last time, was putting the top. So you're going to have your lining panel right side up. You're going to put your zipper panel right side up and then your top panel right side down on top of that and sew across that. So you should have another 2 pieces in your basket there with the top panel in it.
Okay, so it should be in between there then?
Yes, so you can see here, see where my top panel is here?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're just missing that one piece.
Okay, so I have to take that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Just that one part. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh
But
my
your
God,
zipper
wait.
panel's probably fine. Do you have your top panels there in your pieces thing, or?
I don't know. I have to look.
You have to look.
I wasn't ready for today.
Oh no, it's just like IKEA and you got extra pieces, that's all.
I know, right?
So yeah, no, you're
Oh.
gonna find that once you have that, yeah, you won't be folding
Okay.
in there. It's going to have lots of room for that top stitch.
Okay. That's what I was worried about. Sorry, the dog keeps whining. I don't know what he wants.
But thankfully, we are doing a drop-in lining. Otherwise, you would have sewed that on and then opened it up and you would have had a top zipper. So that's okay. Easy, easy fix. Okay, so I'm playing with cameras for a moment. I am going, might make you dizzy. We will not have a zoom view here because I don't have it set up with this camera. So you're just, oops, sorry. Look at my messy room. I don't have zoom view set up with this. Oh, there's my map. I should update that. We got a whole bunch of new people to add to that. Let me just make sure you're going to see what my process is to make sure everybody can see what I'm doing. How's that camera view there? Not quite good enough. This is my life when I'm making videos, you guys. The Zoom side, they're probably laughing because they see me looking at the camera behind me to make sure that my view is good here. I think we're okay. Maybe. Can I go up a little higher, maybe? Where am I? Okay, I think that's good. How does that look on the YouTube side? Does that look like it's a good view? Have I switched it over to that? Yeah, I have. YouTube is a little bit behind, it looks like, on my side. Let me see what it looks like over here. I think it looks okay. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and sew this. You guys can hear me on YouTube still? So again, I'm going in with a generous 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and a scant 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. I'm going to be very aware of where my zipper panel is because I do not want to catch that in this at all. I just want to make sure my threads are being held back. Looks good, perfect. And as you go, take it nice and slow, making sure that your inner and exterior panels match up pretty much perfect. Trust me, you guys are going to thank me for this. This is a great skill to learn, and for those that have a hard time with your wrists like me, it truly is a saver. Because you don't have to turn the bag unless you're just turning it from inside out. But you will see I do not go fast. So I want to make sure I know where everything is, that my folds are lining up good. Said in both bags in June, we're doing the exact same way like this. One is written as a drop-in lining, which is the Aviatrix. And then the other one isn't, but it's got the same kind of zipper panel and everything that this one has, so it's a super easy drop-in. Make sure your zipper tails get tucked in and you don't sew through them either. Looks like it wants to slide there. Get back in there. There you go. Almost there. As you see, I go so slow, you guys. So slow. I know in my tutorials, when I'm doing this part, it probably makes it look like I'm going at normal speed, but it's in fast speed. That just shows how slow I take this. But that top stitch definitely makes the bag. Especially as a drop-in lining, because you see it on both sides. I guess you see it on both sides regardless when you do a top stitch. Done. Let me fix that camera. There we go. How are we making out? What's Dawn doing? Is she just folding her stuff down? Yeah, good. How are you making out there, Kim?
I'm still fixing the lining top, but I'll just catch up.
Okay. Stephanie looks like she's smiling, so that's good.
I was waiting for you to ask me. I'm a slow top stitcher too.
Are you? Are you top stitching already?
Yeah, I'm top stitching.
Oh, you got those sides fixed pretty fast. Now, are you? Did you turn your bag inside out, or are you just doing it right side up?
I'm a prayer.
Are you going like this?
I just do it normal, and I pray that my bobbin tension is perfect. Okay.
You and me both. Perfect. So that is the top stitching all done other way around. You can see I went just slightly bigger than 1/8 of an inch, and that's just to guarantee that I'm catching everything. We had such generous seam allowance fold over. Right here it went a little bit off kilter, but do you know what? Really nobody's going to notice that. Make sure it's all caught and your stitching looks all good from the inside, which mine does. And then all that's left to do is put on your handles, which I'm not going to do because I haven't made my handles yet. Oops. But to put on your zipper pull and your zipper end. So I'll show you guys why we put that 1-inch line on the back here. Let me grab my zipper pull and my handy dandy fork. This is my zipper jig here. Put my keyboard away. So my husband made me this fork on his little vise thing here. It's perfection. Ignore my garbage can there. So I have my fork here. I've got my zipper pull with the wrong side up, and I'm putting it on the prongs of the fork. So it's hanging out. I bring my zipper tails together and I flip it wrong side up, and that 1-inch line that we drew across, as we're putting it into the fork or into the zipper, we want that one. Oh, I did it first try. Well, that never happens. You want it to line it up so it lines up almost perfectly. And if we have sewn everything right, when we zip it up, it should go on. Huh, never happens first try. Nice and straight like that. Perfection. And then all we have left to do is, again, the handles and put on that zipper end. So I'll go ahead and do that because we got time. So I am going to trim my zipper tape up a little bit here. I'm just going to guesstimate it because I got tape stuck to me everywhere. Right about there looks good to me. I just eyeball it. I am going to fold the wrong sides together like this. Thanks, Irene. Hi, when did you pop in there? And then fold it upon into itself like so. Fold this in half to the zipper teeth and then in. And it kind of takes away all that bulk there on the sides. I'm going to burn that a little bit just to get rid of those strays and put a clip to hold that in place. And then I'm going to take my zipper end and find my glue. I put a dollop of glue inside my metal zipper end. You could do a cloth zipper end here too if you want to make one. I like the look of the metal ones, to be honest. Just a little bit of fabric tack. And then I'm going to slide that onto my prepared zipper here like this. Get in there. All the way in like that, and that glue is going to help hold that. My husband bought me this thing just on Amazon. Man, it saves my wrist too. It's like a little electric little screwdriver. It's amazing. And it's magnetic, so it holds my screw in there good. And then I can go ahead and put the screw in to that hole and screw everything in place. And it's nice and tight. And the glue will help hold that in place as well. And that's it. That can get stuck in there. There's nothing wrong with being a slow sewer. I will honestly say that's why I don't do a lot of live sews, as you guys can see. How some YouTubers can do a whole bag in 2 hours, I have no idea, because it's 6 to 8 hours for me, if not more. It's a day. So look how good that zipper panel looks. That's what yours will look like, Kim, when you have your top on it. And as a drop-in lining, look how beautiful that lining sits inside there, like so tight. I'm showing the zoom people because they can see that camera. And like that. It just, drop-in linings, I don't know. Who likes a drop-in lining? I like it. I do. You like it? Now, if it was a zipper top drop-in lining, I wouldn't like it so much. I do not like zipper top drop-in linings. I'm not good at them. I probably just need to practice, so. All right. See everybody's faces again. Yay. Oh, there's everybody that sort of has theirs done. Stephanie's looks great. I love your fabric, Stephanie. That was cotton, you said? Or is it vinyl?
It's a waterproof canvas.
This looks lovely. Lovely, lovely. Oh, and the Kim's there. That looks so nice. And yours was cotton? So you just got to drop in that lining and you're good.
Yeah. So it's mostly cotton, and then the accent is the vinyl, so which is
beautiful.
You see it.
Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. And we saw Dawn's exterior earlier, but I think she's got it all inside out right now. So, but yeah.
Brandy, what's the name of your vinyl again?
This is a Galaxy Customs. This is her new line called the Patina Distressed Vinyl. This one is the light orange. She doesn't have any more of this in stock. I bought the last two. But she's got another color that's similar. Let me, oh, I had balloons. Did you see that?
Yeah.
let me show you the other orange, because I got another orange here.
Is it the blood orange?
It's the blood orange.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, it's a little bit darker.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, actually, I didn't get another full roll of this. She had like a scrap of a roll that she sent me with my last order because I loved it so much. So that was really nice of her. So yeah, this her next pre-order, I think I'm going to be getting like all of these colors because I love this vinyl. This is the Stormy. This gray is the Stormy colorway, but I missed out on the retail. I got some colors, but not all of the colors. So that's definitely what's nice about the pre-order is you can get what you want. And now that I've actually experienced these with the few that I did buy, I want all of the colors. All of the colors.
They look really nice, yes.
And they feel so good, but they're not super thick. Like they're completely domestic friendly. Like they're not, like the pearls are my favorite. We know that, but those are definitely, they get thick and everything. Oh yeah, you got the blood orange there too, yeah?
Yeah.
I got my last order, I got the ballerina pink because she didn't have any of that other pink that I liked because she had the two pinks. I have, let me show you the difference between the two. Okay, so I've got some scrap of this one. I don't remember what it was called. No, that's not it.
Bubblegum?
No, it wasn't bubblegum. That's the wrong one. Let me see here. Where are you? I have too much vinyl. Well, maybe I don't have any more. I don't have it. I thought I had more. Don't mind me. I'm just looking through my stash. I thought I had more. No, I must have used it all up. Oh, no, I didn't. It's right here. Is that it? No. No, I don't have any. So this is... Oh, no, I lied. This is the light pink, and I got the ballerina pink. That's right. Okay. I knew I had a roll of it. So this is the one I made my Mercury in. And then I placed an order her last sale on the long weekend, but she didn't have any of the light pink. So I got the ballet slipper pink, and it's just a little bit peachier, but it's just as pretty. This one I like the most. I really truly do, but this one is pretty. It's nice. I'm using this one for my aviatrix for class next month. This one and the Stormy. So I'm combining this gray and the pink, and the bag is going to be the pink, and that under flap is going to be the gray, and I think that's going to look really nice.
That would be nice.
That will look nice. I chose some pinks and grays too for mine.
Yeah. Speaking of pinks, you're excited to do the aviatrix? I'm excited to teach mine in Anna's pattern, but I'm going to need Dawn and Diane to babysit me because I will probably go rogue on our own pattern. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. I actually went rogue in the tutorial, and Anna's like, Brandy, you didn't top stitch the bottom. I'm like, no, I'm not redoing it. It's fine. So if you're reading the pattern and following my tutorial, when it comes to top stitching a section, I completely didn't top stitch it, and I should have, and it would have made things easier. So that was just me going rogue on our own pattern. But keep in mind, she was the lead designer of that bag. That's an Anna design. So the up and away I was the lead designer. So if I made a mistake on the up and away, which I think I did on the video too, I think I admitted it. So it's just going to happen. That's just what I do. So, but yes, because Dawn and Diane, oh, Diane just got here. Hi, Diane. They are testers for they're Pin It Up testers. So they've made quite a few of them, and they're going to babysit me and make sure that I stay on par with the pattern.
So is that bag on Tuesday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Oh.
Thursdays. Tuesdays we're doing the Pelican tote, but we're fancying it up. It's not going to look like a tote when we're done with it at all. We're adding in hidden connectors. We're adding in a crossbody. We're adding in hardware. I put all the hardware lists and everything in the community chat and on the Facebook page if you need to see the extra hardware you need. We're doing it as a drop-in lining. We're adding in a recessed zipper. We're just rewriting the whole pattern. So yeah, make sure the Pelican tote is a free pattern from Bagstock. So make sure you download the Pelican tote as well as the fancy add-on, because we will need those for like the recess zipper and everything like that. But then we'll be adding stuff, like we'll be doing more connectors and everything. That bag, I haven't made it in years, but I started making it on my Juki 2010Q, and it was my top selling bag with the modifications that I made. And I think I may have done the tutorial on my 1541. I don't remember. It's an old tutorial from when I was in the hallway. I'm going to have to watch it just to reacquaint myself with it, and I'm going to be like, man, how far things have come. But yeah, we're going to do it just like that. And I swear I sold so very many of those. So maybe they'll make a comeback again. So it's like a medium-sized tote, but it doesn't look like a tote. So once we're done with it, we're going to make it look really good. Now, do you guys want to see the bag that I just finished the tutorial for today? The tutorial doesn't come out till the 17th. Brand new Canadian. Sorry?
Sorry.
What?
I'm sorry. Look at this purse foot. I don't even know what happened.
Where did it go?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh. Is it gone, or is it just...
Is that one of the ones
Never
that you
happened
use to
before.
press?
Huh.
No.
Have you already sewed your lining and exterior together, Dawn?
No.
Okay, so just reach into the bottom and change out your pierced feet.
Man, that's annoying.
No doubt. I am so glad that you noticed that before sewing your lining in. Otherwise, you would be crying. I'm going to admit to you guys, Tuesday, Dawn knows, I was crying when I finished my class bag. I had flawed vinyl, and when I turned it out and finished sewing it, when I looked at it, I noticed all of the paint was peeling off of it. So I had to chuck it. I harvested it right after class. It's in my garbage can. I'll show you. So, oh, I think it's in here. I'm digging through my garbage on camera. Now, Diane did it. I harvested it big time, but I think I just had flawed vinyl because look.
Wow.
See, yeah, I was sad, but I may have just got a lemon roll because Diane made it in the same fabrics and didn't have any problems. But yeah, on all my sharp edges, it did that, and it did it here. So this was my class bag. It was so perfect, but then I just harvested it for everything. So you can see it's trash. So I got out of class and I'm like, Dawn's like, were you okay? I'm like, I noticed the flaw like while I was sewing it, but I couldn't start over because it was the last class. So we just kept going, and I'm at work and I just chucked the bag out. So yeah, okay, but I'll show you the bag. So this bag is a brand new Canadian designer. She's in Ontario, called Scroll and Turquoise. Let me grab this thing. It's so pretty. I'm holding it behind my back. It's a bound bag.
Ooh, pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous? So she's got different pocket options you can do on the bag. There's 3 different pockets you can do. I did this in, I want to say this was Cherry Blossom marine vinyl from Galaxy Customs and her Toxic Aqua glitter vinyl. This was a waterproof canvas from Sam Fabrics. But what gets me about this bag is the lining. This side, look at. So 6 card slots and 2 huge slip pockets. And then this side.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Isn't it cool? So yeah, this is what I worked on all day today. I got the tutorial done and it will go to the channel. Well, do you know what? You guys will get it this weekend because you're members, because members always get them before they are scheduled to go on the live side. Because I only release tutorials on Saturdays to the live side. But as soon as I get this uploaded, I have to do the voiceover. It'll be available to members because members, I dump all my stuff onto the membership side and then schedule it to go live on the public side. So you guys will get to see this weekend. But this was an amazing happy sew for me. Really, really pretty.
I love that material.
Especially after what happened on Tuesday, yeah.
Oh yeah, with that other, yeah.
Yeah.
My poor little Neo bag. So yeah, I'm really, and I got to do pretty stuff with it. Like, yeah.
So that's not a class.
It may be a class if somebody wants to nominate it for August.
Okay.
It is called the Twilight Traveler. So write that down if you end up wanting to nominate it. I'm going to be putting up the August class nominations at the end of the weekend. Now, on that note, July is Teacher's Choice and they're pre-recorded classes, okay? Because I take July and December off from live classes just because I need a break, right? So the bags I've chosen because I have them on order, okay? Thursdays, we're going to be doing the Mercury backpack with my modifications. Do you guys want to see mine again? Let me go grab it. Of course, it still says that I'm on New Amsterdam Holland America Cruise Line because this was my cruise bag. So this is the one we're going to be doing on Thursdays in July. I have modified this one because it was originally a backpack and I've modified it so it's a crossbody shoulder bag and the crossbody bag turns it into a backpack. This is the most amazing travel / work bag. Like, this was amazing taking on my cruise. On the inside you have a sleeve that fits a whole laptop. Like, it's big, and I put in 2 drink holders on the sides. You can, and the slip pockets and everything. This can be a slip pocket or it can be a luggage sleeve, which I made it so it could go on my suitcase. It's got that hidden pocket that Car Freds always does, just like that little bag that we did buy them. So I love this. This is like very similar to the Trailblazer by Bagstock, but different. It's bigger than that one. So now there is a smaller version of this as well. There's 2 sizes. Yeah, so
but this will be the big version.
This is the big. They go together the same way.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. The only differences will be, no, they go. I actually modified this one to be more like the smaller one for the bigger size. So I do have a coupon code already that will be good for June 1st. So make sure you watch the page for that because I will put them out on June 1st. And yeah, so this is what that bag is going to be. And then the Tuesday bag, for those that are on Tuesdays, we are doing the Big John duffel bag by Creations. And we are doing that because my son needs a new duffel bag. So I have tutorials on both of those and meet the bags on both of those bags. If you want to check them out, go and check them out. But I chose the Mercury bag to be the Thursday bag because that is the larger class and it is a newer pattern, and I figured with the smaller size or the bigger size, that would be the one that would be most popular to have on the larger classes. And I love making this. I have 3 of these on order. 3 of them. Who wants to see my funny looking Mercury? It's not funny looking. I shouldn't see that because my cousin may see this video in 18 months when this goes live. But my cousin is a very flamboyant, amazing person, and she ordered one of these and I just finished it. You guys probably saw the pictures already. Let me grab it. And she chose all the colors for this for her work bag, so this is hers. It looks like a robot face. But this is so her personality. This is glitter vinyl on here, so it just shows. So this is Brandy style, very contemporary. And this is my cousin, who's 11 years younger than me, that's very, hi, I'm here, look at me, my name's Megan, I'm going to twirl around. So, so it just shows with your color placement how, like with your, you can color block this in so many ways to make it any way that you want it to be. So, but yeah, I have 3 more of these on order, so I figured for July class, I may as well bang one of them out with the class as well, because this is like my favorite thing to make right now. But you can get the small one as well. They go together very similarly. You just got to read along in case seam allowances or something are a little bit different. But I can't tell you what seam allowances are anyways. So, yeah. I do have...
I would want to do this, and I just wondered if I could follow along, but it sounds like I can.
Oh, absolutely. For the smaller one? Absolutely. I haven't made a smaller one yet, but looking through it, I mean, there are a few differences. I think the smaller one has the 2 handles. The larger one actually didn't originally have the 2 handles, and it was a backpack. It wasn't a bag. So this one you can see how it branches, like I just changed it, but it goes on as a backpack still. See? With the crossbody strap, it works perfectly fine.
Yeah,
Rather than having
one handle, but I see a lot of people post that they will put 2 on the next one they make.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
So yeah, we'll be doing 2 on this one. I did change. I think I'm trying to remember the pattern. I don't think they were flop down handles like this. I changed that, so we will be doing that.
Yeah,
We're going to do it the Brandy way because I have the way I like to do things. So. And I added in for crossbody strap, which they weren't crossbody strap either. They were just little backpacks. So we're adding in a bunch of stuff. It will work for the smaller one or the bigger one. So this will be July, Thursday. The duffel bag. It's a great duffel bag. I go get my son's. He wore his out, but I'm pretty sure he has all of his work stuff in it, so I don't want to grab that from him now. But it's a great duffel bag. It's a great skill builder for learning different kinds of zippers. We're doing all of the zip, like she has a zipper add-on. We're doing all of the zippers. It's a great bag. It's a great bag. It's partially, I can't remember, it's been a while if I did it all bound or partially bound, partially birth. But I have a tutorial. I have to watch it again because it was a while ago, so I don't remember how I put it together. But we'll be doing it the same way. So if you're on Tuesdays, we'll be doing that duffel bag, and well, it'll be pre-recorded. I'm actually recording them as we speak. So they'll still come out at the same as the class times, every Tuesday, every Thursday at the same time. And you guys can watch it and do homework, or you can wait till the end of the month. You can just binge them. I will still be available for the full month of July if you have any questions. When I say I take a month off, I actually don't take any time off. I'm just taking a month off from doing lives, but I'm going to still be filming my tutorials, and that is the month where I do all of my custom orders that I have. So I'm still working. If you have questions for anything, you can still get me, and I will still go FaceTime and everything with you or we can Zoom if you have questions about anything. So we just won't be live because I'll say I only work till noon in December and July. I take a half day off, so that's my little break. So also on that note, so for June we're doing again the Pelican tote on Tuesday and the Aviatrix on Thursday. So next week we do have our cutting classes, but the second week we have no classes because I'm going to be in Ontario. I'll be meeting Diane, and I'm going to see Anna. Anna and I are going to her parents' cottage outside of cell range and everything, so I will not be available that week, but Miss Dawn will. I'm volunteering her that she's going to babysit everybody for me. So reach out to Dawn. Dawn is she's like my longest standing admin right now, and she just knows, she knows everything that has to do with the channel or whatever. She has all the accesses to all of that. So that week, the second week, so I'm gone the 9th until the 16th. I will be in Ontario with Anna. We are banging out the next year's worth of Pin It Up Patterns designs. We're going to get them done. Next Pin It Up Patterns design is going to testing on Sunday. Yay! Yay! It's a good one. It's a really, really good one. Maybe it'll get nominated for a class. Huh? You can't wait? Yeah. Dawn knows what it looks like because she's seen it. So yeah. I can't show you guys though because Anna will kill me. But yeah, Anna's just finishing. I finished the tutorial and the meet the bags already for it. Anna is just plugging my pictures into the pattern and doing the formatting of it, and then it goes to the testers to each make one. Lise is a tester, but she is also our copyright editor. She just makes our wording all better. So that's really exciting. That's coming out. So, and June 17th, Aviatrix tutorial. Guess who's doing one for us, and it's launching that day. Do you see my excitement? Jess Okla Roots is doing the Aviatrix. That's huge. She's like the biggest YouTuber out there. She's got like almost 200,000 followers, and she is doing our tutorial. That's like amazing. I'm so excited for that. So
yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
So yeah. I will be posting for August class or August nominations this weekend. So if you want this one, it is called The Twilight by Scroll and Turquoise. It's a good one. It's a good one.
And bonus for Brandy, she doesn't have to do that extra tutorial.
I wouldn't have to do an extra tutorial because it's done already.
right.
But yeah, no, this is a great make, but it is bound, so keep that in mind. Yeah. Any questions about anything? Oh, Diane's yelling at me. They're telling me to be quiet.
You know what? I have a question.
What?
My thread keeps shredding like crazy. I've changed the needle. I've rethreaded. I've tried different threads. I have no idea. My tension doesn't seem too tight because the stitches are okay. I'm having trouble with the bobbin, but that's because I had to put it back together.
Is your needle in the right way? You know how on your needle you have a little bit of a divot in it?
Yeah.
That should be, that divot should be facing the throat of the machine. Is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
What size?
What color thread?
What's that?
What color thread?
This one's light blue, but I was using black before this, so.
Yeah. I just found out the other day that they use a bunch of different colors all meshed together to make black. And if anybody's going to have trouble with shredded thread, it's usually black.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I just switched it to the light blue and it's still shredding, so I don't know what to do.
Oh.
What brand is it, Kim?
What?
What brand is it?
The thread? I think it's a Mon.
Oh.
Which is, and I think they both were actually, so I wonder if it's that, the brand.
I use strictly Amon thread and have never had a problem with it. Is it Tech 70?
Yeah.
Yeah, and usually I use like Swag or, I mean, that's the main one that I have, or Wizardry Stitchery.
I have
And
issues
that
with,
one-
I can't use Wizardry Stitchery because it shreds on me.
And that one's 80 and that one usually does fine. So that's why I'm not sure what.
What
is
size
going on.
needle are you using?
I think I increased it to a 20 actually.
Oh,
which
yeah,
is
'cause I just
big.
use an 18.
So that's what I normally use. I actually just ordered a whole pack of new ones, but yeah, I don't know, like. I
It's
don't know what to do.
obviously-
And it's my top thread that's shredding. It's not like the bottom.
Is there glue on the needle?
No, not
Okay.
at all. I know, I
Hmm.
kept checking that because I thought of that too, and I'm like, maybe
it's-
I just need to loosen the tension more.
Have you rethreaded your bobbin and your top?
Yeah. In fact, I just put this one in because I had the black in before that, and I forgot to switch it to top stitch. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'll try rethreading and.
Yeah, otherwise, it's almost like it's catching on something. Maybe there's something in your
Yeah.
needle plate that has a little rough edge on it. Is it just those two colors, or are other
You know
colors
what?
fine?
I haven't tried any other ones because it got stuck and I had to take the whole bobbin housing apart, and then I lost the screws.
I've been there, done that.
And
Yeah.
I found them, thank God.
Yeah.
So I thought if anything, I'd have trouble with the bobbin. And I do a little bit, but that's just, I think the bobbin was wound wrong.
It could be catching on something in the bobbin too, though, and shredding
Oh.
that thread. But I'm not
That's
sure.
Does it shred right before the needle though?
Like right, I don't, from what I can tell, it's just after. Because,
After the
I
needle.
can't see it on here, but like, oh, let me see if I can get it closer. Probably not. See how like the ends, oh, I gotta go that way.
Yeah.
And that's while you're sewing it? Yeah.
Yeah, which is really weird. So it might be the bobbin.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the almond thread because I have never ever had issues with almond.
Yeah.
I've had,
I've used this one before. Like
Yeah.
I've used it, several. I don't know if my machine is just like off. I don't know.
just give it a little whack. Sometimes whacking things fix it.
Yeah, kick it. Good one.
That's what I felt like doing when it jammed.
Yeah,
'Cause that's a
And
pain.
have you recently oiled it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, right after I got it back together. I know. I've tried like every trick I know.
Every trick.
Not that I
yeah.
know all that many, but yeah, this machine is starting to get on the nerves.
I'm at a loss.
Trouble.
I did the same thing. I didn't hold my threads when I started sewing. When I first got my 1541, about 3 months in, you guys, if you watch my channel, it was just before I got my 1341 because my machine was broken. Didn't hold my threads. It got caught in that bobbin mechanism and it broke. I had to replace that bobbin mechanism, and that was like $200, $300. And I'd only had the machine for a while. And my husband tried to fix it, but we couldn't get the timing right. And my threads were getting caught on stuff in the bobbin mechanism and shredding. That's why I'm thinking maybe that's what's happening with you. That's also when I got my 1341, because I couldn't be without a machine. So I took my machine, my 1541, to be serviced at a local place here. So they did the timing and all that, and that fixed everything. My threads weren't shredding anymore. And then I had my 1341 while it was in the shop. So that was why I ended up getting two machines.
That.
Yeah.
I don't have a local shop. That's the only bad thing. So
I didn't think I did either. Do you have local sewing shops that sell sewing machines?
Yeah.
So I got my machine out of Edmonton, and I live in British Columbia. Like, I'm 9 hours away from Edmonton. And so I called around the sewing shops, and because they all do sewing machine services. And I called Findley's and I said, what are the chances you will do a service on an industrial machine? And the guy said, they're all the same, just bring in the head. And what that means is we just took it out of the table and took in the head. And he fixed it. He says, I prefer working on these mechanical machines over an electronic machine any day. And he fixed it up right as rain. So call around your locals and see if they would be willing to do it. You may be surprised, because they're very mechanical and they're not computerized. So
yeah, it might be, because my bobbin has jammed a few times, and I've had to like take the whole thing apart, like the whole housing part, you know, where the bobbin goes in, and it's just a pain in the butt.
It could be something with the timing just being that little bit off, and it's catching the thread and shredding it. That's what I think is happening.
I didn't realize that,
Yeah.
I'll call around tomorrow.
Yeah, call around and see, I don't know that much about an 1181s. If it was a 1541, I probably could help you a little more, but I don't know an 1181 very well.
Okay. I'll just call around and see, because I think it needs it anyway. I've had it for a while, and I haven't ever had it like serviced, so
yeah. But yeah, call around. You might be surprised that they'll say just bring in the head of the machine. Now keep in mind that's 100 pounds.
Yeah,
the head of the machine. Like, I couldn't do it myself. My husband had, and my son had to carry it in. I could not do it. So yeah, and then you have to put it back in the table.
Put it in the box and all that, and it was like the poor movers, they had to carry that and my 10 needle embroidery machine, and they were so not happy.
You have an embroidery 10 needle embroidery machine. I want all the things.
Oh,
I just got, it's in a box over there. I just got a new baby lock serger. I don't know how to use a serger, but I just got one. It's
love the baby lock serger.
I've never ever had one, but I want to learn how to do clothes, so I got one. It has the air threading thing.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I have one, and then I sold it because I never even used it. So, yeah.
No, I got one, so I'm excited, and I have like a little, I'm trying to look what it is, Singer Pro Finish. It's like I think you can buy them at like Canadian Tire and Walmart and stuff for like $300. And I got it for $20 at a yard sale, and I did sew a few pair of pajamas in that, and then I had to rethread it, and then I just lost it. So I'm gifting it to Dawn. It may or may not be broken, but Dawn and I actually see each other. She doesn't live far from me, and her son lives in Kamloops, and he's headed to see her in a month or so, and I have a bunch of stuff for her, so I'm giving her this machine that may or may not be broken. But yay!
With me, I'm willing to try.
Merry Christmas in July for you when you get that. So.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see the outside of your bag.
I have to show you my lining fit perfectly. See that?
Nice.
Lining fit perfectly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got your seam allowances good and you cut it good. Arnetta says she's had a baby lock serger for years. Oh, good. Or for 25 years. So Danelda has one and Arnetta has one. So I may be coming to you guys for help. So, because I don't know how to use one. I don't. So yeah, I'm excited. But yay. So yeah, make sure once you're done your bags, post them on the page so I can put them in the album. And yeah, who's going to be, so are you guys all going to be doing the AVA tricks with me next week?
I have to go and get the pattern.
Look it, I made the hurry up before the discount code doesn't work anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you need,
apparently the designers of that pattern are
they are so hard to deal with. Like if you missed that discount code, I don't think that they would fix it for you. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so. You're out of luck.
Actually, I believe Anna, because it's on Anna's website, so I don't do any of that stuff. But I believe right now all of our whole 2 patterns are on sale for 15% off right now. So yeah, go and grab the Aviatrix, and then the Pelican. Make sure you get it's free. I don't know, whoever's on Tuesdays. I think, is it just Dawn here that's on Tuesdays?
Well, last few weeks, yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to look and see, but everybody should join Tuesdays too. Then we can all have a party.
I just never get to make it because I'm always at work.
Darn that work.
I know, it gets in the way.
How rude, yeah.
Yes, they don't care.
Yeah.
We should have one night where it's just the last part of the bag, and so we get it done the first 15 minutes, and then we can sit here and have a glass of wine.
That's right.
Or in Brandy's case, something else.
Yeah.
And just chat until 5 o'clock.
Well, look, we've already done that for half an hour now. Diane says that she is sewing the Aviatrix with us. Yes, she is, because she has made many, and she will be babysitting me. So, all right, everybody. Well, this was fun. I love how the Zoom makes it so we can have a show and tell after. So, another thing I want to start doing in the classes as we're coming into the Zoom and everybody's popping in, I would love to see what show and tell of what you've made in the week, whether it's the class bag or whatever. So at the beginning of every class, I'm thinking we're going to show that. Oh, Stephanie has something to show us. Oh, we lost Kim. Bye, Kim. Oh, yay. You made your Rosie.
I made my Rosie, finally. I made a lot of Rosies, actually.
You made a lot of Rosies? They're addicting once you've made them, so. What's that one?
Nice.
This is the Bircham by Simply Classic. I made one in suede, and one in this weird ostrich leather.
Oh.
I didn't think I would like it, but it was really easy
Super
to go
cute.
with.
I have never checked out Simply Classic before. Maybe I should do that. What's the name of the designer? Do you know her name?
Yeah, her name is
That's Chris.
What's her name, sorry?
Chris Murphy.
Chris Murphy? Does she let YouTubers do her videos? Do you know?
I've never seen anyone but her do them.
Oh well, doesn't hurt to ask, I guess. So, Kim says, sorry, my computer went dead. Diane, you're always late, but we like you, so it's okay. All right, so yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'm so happy so many people joined us on Zoom today, because I was just saying to Dawn I was a little bit discouraged because it's been an off month. I mean, for me, with the passing of my friend and the cruise and everything, that I was thinking that Zoom wasn't going to be a thing everybody wanted. But now I'm all totally into Zoom again, so I think we'll be keeping it.
There you go.
Awesome.
You made her night,
You
girl.
made my night, because it was just before class. I was saying to Dawn, I don't know about the Zoom. I just don't know if it's going to catch on. But I'm so happy you guys are all here, because it makes me happy, because I like it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but I better go make supper for my family, because Dave's home, but I don't hear anything happening in the kitchen, so I think it means I'm still making dinner. So probably. All right, so let me just check here. Good night, Kim. Good night, Diane. Nice seeing you guys.
Bye.
Post on the page. See you next week. No, I can't find my mouse. There it is.